They say he who's he is tired of London is tired of life. Well, that's what they say.
Who are you?
Nigel Price.
You are.
I got one right.
What are you?
I guess I'm a guitarist. I leave the house with my guitar, play music, and people give me money for it. I live in Epsom, and it's not too far from London. There's 3 kids, and me and her, and a dog, and 3 cats. Yes.
I'd say that's quite a big family. 3
big
cats,
enough.
a dog, and 3 kids.
Well, we've got to keep the birth rate up.
How many gigs did you do last year?
My son asked me this. 354, I think it was.
Not many musicians, I would say, gig that prolifically, do they?
No. Well, that's why I look like this. Maybe some people have a false idea of what they think a life in the world of music is going to be like, and the actual harsh reality is probably more of a slog than they thought, and it's not for everyone, you know. And it's I don't know if it's for me really. I mean, I'm sort of known
Changing career now.
Well, I'm kind of known as the guy that tours a lot, and I don't travel particularly well, you know. I don't really like it to live in suburbia. Is that where we are? Suburbia? It's not London, so you have to go and travel to find where it's all happening. But I know it's a necessary, not evil, but it's necessary, you know. And it has to be done if you want to sustain a career. You just have to do it. So I do it. But the way I see it is that if you just play in London, there's nothing wrong with that, but you've got to look at a bit further afield if you want any kind of lasting success. You know, it's I'm not the best guitarist in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but it's but loads of people know me from here to John O'Groats. Maybe not John O'Groats. Aberdeen was probably the furthest north I've played, and everywhere in between. But people have actually come to see us, and we've played in front of thousands of people just all over the country. Whereas, you know, I think you can't get the same kind of, you can't expect to get the same kind of success if you just play in London. I think it's an absolute disgrace. A disgrace. I don't know how they've got away with it. I mean, if I sell 1 CD, that's worth more than the revenue from all the streams in a year from Spotify. Just 1. If you're published and you look in your contracts, you'll see that you know, you're as it goes down the line, everyone's taking their whatever percentage that you've signed up for. So realistically, what you end up with per stream is it's a joke. It's like 0.002 of 1p. I've even had people coming up to me on gigs and saying, "Oh, I'm only buying your CD because I can only play it 5 times on the free Spotify." And it's, oh really? Oh, well, thank you. You know, it's nice of you. They reckon that for each CD, physical CD that you sell, you would have sold 5 times more. And if that's true, then I could have actually bought a house now instead of living in this place.
Nice.
It is nice. Yes. Yeah. No, it is nice. Bianca's made it nice. Like recorded music and the income for musicians has been hit pretty hard by the changes in the music in the industry, within the music industry, in the last 10-15 years. And I think it's really hard to make a living now. Really hard. I feel sorry for anyone who's getting into it now.
Yeah.
Trying to sell records. I mean, in those days I was talking about recording with Mick Talbot and this guy Chris Bangs as well. I mean, we used to make records, and there was no band. We just record a record, and we'd sell 4,000 or 5,000 copies. But now, even if you've got a band, there's no chance that you're going to sell that amount of records. Just not a cat and hell's chance.
What's the best thing you've ever done in your career?
Have I done anything good? I've never enjoyed stadium gigs. I mean, I haven't done that many of them, but I've played in front of a few thousand people sometimes. Just as long as I'm in front of a room of people who are really into it, then I don't want anything else, really. I know that sounds a bit, but I think it's true.
What's the best gig you've done abroad, or the most interesting gig you've done abroad?
Well, probably one of the most interesting, it sounds most interesting on paper, is when we supported Whitney Houston. But this was James Taylor Quartet.
Oh, I see.
But,
okay.
The actual reality is that we never got to meet her, never got to see her or anything. Or the only evidence that she was there was at my feet, just by my wah-wah pedal, was WH written in tape, and that's as close as I got to her. The worst thing
Yeah, the
I've
lowest
ever done.
point of your career, or the worst thing?
Literally, a fight. I shouldn't mention any names. I mean, I don't see that as a low point, but it was. I was playing with this band, great funk band, Filthy Six, and we were playing at someone's wedding, and I mean, we shouldn't laugh really, but there was a big fight. I mean, big. And it went on for a long time. There was a guy there who just had his collar left and his tie and his hairy back out, swinging for people, John, leave it! And then it would stop, and then it would kick off again, and the groom was stood in the middle of it, just going, "Thanks for coming, everyone. Thanks for coming."
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It was awful. The police came, and you could hear it going on outside. It was fantastic.
Well, does anything really get you goat when you're doing a gig?
I think it's people being disrespectful to the band for absolutely no reason. It can really get me. I don't mind a bit of chat. I think that's absolutely fine. I don't expect people to sit there in absolute silence, but I've had people say the most incredible things. We were playing up in Grantham. Grantham. Oh God! In fact, I've got a picture of me standing beneath the photo of Margaret Thatcher. So I'm just on the mic between a tune, and this guy suddenly shouts out from the crowd. He said, "Why can't you play a real instrument like an accordion?" What? I've seen some pretty crazy stuff out there.
Best gig venue you've played in London?
It's always an honour to play at Ronnie's. I remember walking past there when I was in my 20s and just thinking, I wonder if I'll ever play there. I wonder if I'll ever play there.
Right.
And how would I ever get to play there? And Sam Burgess, the bass player, just called me up one day and said, "Do you want to play at Ronnie's?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" "What do you mean actually on the stage?" I think that's what I said to him, "Actually on the stage?" He went, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah." I feel like such a local sometimes. You're driving past the House of Parliament or wherever, and you're just in the car stuck in a traffic jam and you just don't care. You just have no feeling for it whatsoever. And then you look around, there's all these people taking pictures everywhere. And you think, what the hell are you doing? Not that looks good though. Yeah, you bump into some people who lost all of their joy a few years back, but I think we all know sort of roughly who those people are. What do I want to be doing in 10 years' time? Would it be really a cop-out just to say, if I'm still doing what I'm doing now, I wouldn't have a problem with that? I think maybe true happiness comes from accepting and being happy with your lot.